Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's live. Yes, Walter will be here. He just ran upstairs. He wanted to get the fabric that he bought to show you because I didn't do that on the So Chatty video. So yeah, there he is with his little bag of goodies with him as well. So let's see who's all here, and I hope everybody can see and hear us okay. Hi, Laura. Hi, Patsy. Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Marilyn. Hi, Jan. Hi, Wendy. Um, yes, it was great, Wendy. That was a great adventure that we had. We'll talk a little bit more about it today as well. But you did see, if you saw So Chatty, then you've seen it all pretty much. Hi, Christine. Hi, Colleen. We're just waiting here for people to get themselves in, and view is kind of you're looming. I
I'm
don't like it
looming.
when you're looming.
I'm
You're
looming.
looming. You're filling up the screen. Loomy bugger. Need a wider screen. Skinnier bodies. One or the other. But anyways, hi Jan. Jan says hi. Walter. Yay, Walter. Jeannie. Hi Jeannie. Hi Eddie. Did I say hello to Christine? I'm not sure if I did. I have a short memory, but if I didn't, I am now. So hello, Christine. So, yep, everybody can see us and hear us okay, I guess. Patsy says, wow, Walter's fabrics fit in a tote bag.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I didn't buy as much.
Mm. Hi, Wanda. I went a little nutso, as I'm sure you could tell, but I tended to.
Because
Um,
it's all quilting cotton, and I don't usually, like, I only buy quilting cotton for certain things. So,
Hi, Stephanie. Yeah, well, yeah, because yeah. But anyways, Walter's going to show you in a second what he bought. But it was a good trip. We did do 8 stores. I had more than that on my list, but there were a couple that we decided not to go to for one reason or another. But all those stores that I went to were all great stores. That's why, how could I not resist buying fabric? There's just no way. So, before Walter shows you his fabric, I'm going to just quickly review anybody who hadn't seen So Chatty for this week. So there's my haul. This is all my fabric, not Walter's, and it's 2 layers deep and many layers high that are here, and that represents $3,100 worth of fabric. And I could have bought more, but after a while, things are going ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching with it all. But I did get some good deals as well. In fact, in several of the places, I hit a sale or some of the things I picked up were on sale. I think the best sale of the day was the kit. It's buried in there that I got at Hugleg. However you say it.
Huglet or Higlet or whatever.
Higlet, Piglet, whatever. Yeah, where that they specialize in Fassett fabrics, and you saw that on the video. Their whole room is just one wall of Fassett fabrics. I mean, it's so pretty. But there was a kit, and actually, I looked at the kit and sort of walked away. Then Walter says, "Did you see this?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "That's really nice." Enabler, but there was no price on it. So I said to the lady there, I said, "So what's the price on that?" And she says, "Oh," she says, "I'll look that up." She says, "But that's on sale." She said, "So whatever the price is, it's 30% off of that." Well, the price was about $256. With the 30% off, it was 189. And it's a big quilt, and it's got a lot of fabric to it, a lot of nice fabric um, in
Is
it.
it Tula pink?
No, I don't think it's Tula
Oh,
pink.
okay.
I think it's let me see. Well, it's right here. Pull it out. I think it's Cape. Well, it might be Tula pink.
I think it's Tula pink.
Oh, it could be signed by Stacy Day. Okay, let's just flip back over here. And go here so I can see what people are saying. It's called Solar Flare Quilt Kit, and it came with, there's all the fabrics. They're all very pretty. And backing not included, featuring True Colors by Tula Pink. Yep, it is Tula Pink. So I now have some Tula pink because I don't buy Tula pink. Um, I mean, I don't hate Tula pink, but there's just too much pink. But actually this one I think is going to look really good. This would, and it is a foundation paper piece pattern too. So yeah, it's heavy. But I got that for $189, which I didn't think is bad because the fabric that's in here, there's like backing isn't included, but it never is. 13 yards, 11.88 meters of fabric in here. So what? If on average Tula Pinks usually runs around $20 a meter, so that's well over $200.
Well over $200.
Yeah. Well, why does I didn't even say Siri's name, and Siri starts blasting away. But anyways, I think that was my best price of the 2 days out of there for what that was. But yep, we got a lot of stuff. What are people saying here? Okay, you can hear us great. Yes, Eddie, I went to the dark side and I bought Tula Pink. Now, if Adam Sows is on here, comes on here, he loves Tula Pink. So, like I said, I don't hate it or anything. It's just, I'm never sure what to do with it. And which is because I like bright and bold, and Tula Pink is bright and bold. But I think it's the graphics that are on them that I find a little juvenile in that. They're cute. It's whimsical. But I don't know. I just not really into cute, but I got that now. So there we go. Patsy says I would have been like a kid in a candy store. Oh yeah. There was so much to see in all of these stores we went to, and just, yeah. I said in one store, Cherished Pieces in Tilsonburg. Somebody on here recommended we go there, and we did. And thank you for the recommendation because I love that store. They had a really great variety. Their prices were good, and they sold AccuQuilt dyes.
They were kind of wall to wall fabric.
Yeah,
they were pretty.
Not
it was
a big
sort
store.
of a rabbit's warren in there, but they had a lot of selection.
Yeah, and it was good, and their prices were pretty good. I think they were averaging about
they were anywhere from about $14.15 to $16.50 a yard.
A yard, yeah. They sold by the yard. Although if you want meter, not a problem. But I don't know what the different, like if they charged you
how much more they charged.
How much they charged you? Because I didn't check it out. Because I did order it by the meter, but even still, it was still a really good price. And in fact, because I had spent so much money in the store, they gave me a lovely gift. They gave me a lovely vinyl tote bag that had quilt designs on it and a bottle of soap. And you got a thing in there too, didn't you?
I got a little thing of hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer. I didn't even know that company made that.
Yeah.
Soak is the company that also makes Flatter. Okay, they're a Canadian company as well, and I've used Flatter.
Flatter is for flattening your seams.
Yeah, right? And it does work. Except I like Acorn Precision.
And she gave me a little spray bottle of hand sanitizer made by the soap company.
So that was nice, though. Of course, I did spend $600.
I didn't spend that much there, but
I did say to the woman too. I said, I kind of just want to buy your whole store. Are you accepting offers? I think she thought I was a little serious about that. No, I'm not buying a store. So let's see. Pamela says, "Hi, Pamela."
Tilsonburg.
Janet's here. Hi, Janet. Margaret's here. Hi, Margaret. I would like the shop that you couldn't say the name. I would spend a lot there. Yeah, it's a good shop.
And the lady is really, really nice.
She was very nice. She's the owner.
Yeah.
Of the store. She and her husband, I think, own the store.
Last time we were in there, her husband was in there.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Eddie says, you bought 2 lines of Tula Pink. The Christmas fabric is Tula Pink also. The Christmas fabric? I
don't know.
I didn't buy any Christmas fabric. In fact, I purposely stayed away from buying Christmas fabric.
Yeah, he only bought was the kit. Now, I don't know if the kit has any Christmas fabric in it, but I don't...
Well, there was a Christmas kit. That was flannel, and that's definitely not Tula Pink. I don't think. Well, it was sort of sitting on top of the shelves where she had Tula Pink. That was in Quilting by Design.
Yeah.
But it was flannel, and I didn't think that Tula Pink did much in flannel. Where is that? here somewhere. It's down here. Oh yeah, here it is. Well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it is Tula Pink. You mean this one, Eddie? I don't think this is necessarily. That's not thread designs. That's just the pattern. If I find a salvage.
That's if the fat quarter has a salvage on it.
Yeah, I don't know. Does this look like Tula Pink? Because I don't think it's Tula.
No, I don't think it is.
It doesn't look like her style. No, and I can't tell because there's no salvage on this because they're fat quarters. And it's flannel. Actually, I didn't realize it was flannel when I first grabbed it, picked it up. She showed me a finished quilt with it. And it's a very simple quilt. It's just like here's the pattern that came with it. So you can see it's just strips, rectangles with the whole thing.
Yeah,
So,
Eddie seems to think it's Tula, and Marilyn seems to say that's Tula as well.
okay, well, it was sitting on the in the area where she had Tula Pink, her Tula Pink yardage. So I didn't think about it being Tula Pink. Okay, so basically I take it all back what I said about Tula Pink because obviously I have now bought Tula Pink. So there we are. But I guess okay, that's fine. I just got it because I thought it would make.
Oh, one says no, not Tula.
What's that?
Margaret doesn't think it's Tula Pink.
Oh.
I don't know.
Well, here's some more of it in here. Oh, it is. I found a salvage. Can you see that?
No, you're not pointing.
Tula Pink. So, Eddie, you are right. You win a big prize for the day, Eddie. What's that prize? It's in the mail. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised when you don't get anything with it. So, yeah.
Holiday Homies is Tula Pink.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yep, that's what it's called, Dawn. So, hi, Dawn. All right, you guys are right. I didn't realize it was Tula Pink. You want to know something, though? I never pay attention that much to, unless it's like Tim Holtz, I guess, or Tula Pink, or Kaffe Fassett. I don't pay attention to
I don't mind
designers.
some of her stuff that I've seen, but I haven't really ever bought too much.
Well, I don't hate it. That's what I'm saying. I don't hate it. It's just I'm never sure what to do with it. So now that I've got 2 kits, I guess I'll figure out what to do with it. But anyways, Kaffe Fassett's coming to Connecticut at the end of September 1st, Margaret says. Signed up for this visit and purchased his newest signed book. Okay, here is something. I love Kaffe Fassett's fabrics and that. Don't love Kaffe Fassett. Okay. Okay, you're all going to slap me now. I know. There is a podcast I listen to by a Canadian quilter called The Quilter on Fire. She's out in BC, and she has a weekly podcast. And for the month of August, she's been doing the Kaffe Fassett Connection, where she has been actually interviewing. She was over in England for the Birmingham Quilt Fest or something. I'm not sure if I've got it right. Anyways, she wound up meeting the people that are part of the Kaffe Fassett collection, which consists of Kaffe, some lady who designs fabrics, I think, as well. His husband, Brandon, I think his name is Brandon, one or the other. And I think there's one other person involved or something like that. And she interviewed each one of them. And each week in this month, she has been posting on her podcast those interviews. Now, I haven't heard one yet with Kaffe, but listening to these people talk about how they met Kaffe, how they've worked with Kaffe and stuff like that, and what Kaffe does, well, he's definitely an eccentric artist, okay? And what artist isn't, in a way? But he sounds a little bit snotty. Okay, I don't know. I'm just reading between the lines, and that's the impression I'm getting with it. I don't know. Maybe he's a wonderful human being in person, but I have a feeling he's got that artist mentality, a successful artist mentality, where, if it's not good unless it's mine, kind of a thing, And well, yeah, his stuff is good. He should be proud of it. He's been very successful with it. But I don't know. So if you meet him, if you're going to that, then let me know what he was like in real life. Oh, Billy's here. Hi, Billy. M's here. Hi, M. Uh, I don't think I have, Eddie. I don't think I've seen Northcott's line at Father Christmas. Right now, I'm done with Christmas fabrics. I could have bought a lot, especially at K&A. They had a really good supply of Christmas fabrics, but I got enough. I don't need any more Christmas fabrics. Dawn, she loves Tula and Kaffe. Hello, Jenny, Gina. I can't ever say it.
Jenny.
Jenny. Like Jen. Jenny.
Like Jen with an I.
I don't know why I have trouble with that. You are now Gladys. Okay, and Sherry's here. Okay, great. So, anyways, you've seen my fabric haul, and if you haven't seen the So Chatty, check it out. Bring something along with you to drink and enjoy it because it runs an hour and a half long. I was using my new microphone system. More about that in a minute. But people were asking, what did Walter buy? Well,
okay, I'll start with the boring stuff. I bought this. All it is black fabric.
boring.
And it is a 2-meter cut of wide back fabric. Now, why I got this, because I like having black or almost black in on hand for like doing embroidery on it and stuff like that. So I thought I'd get it because it's a really good price. It was 108 inches wide for $35 for 2 meters of it.
Well, that was from the Yay Old fabric shop in Stratford.
So that was the Yay Old fabric shop in Stratford. They have 2 and 3 meter cuts of wide back fabric for
$52.50.
Yeah, well, 3 meters is $52.50. 2 meters is $35. So
basically a third off the average price of wide back.
So I mean, I don't really care that it's wide back, but it's a fair bit of fabric for doing bags and stuff like that. So I thought, well, that's a good price. I'll get that. And in the same store, I found this kitty fabric I really liked. Now, Steve did a bag about a year ago for me in fabric that's similar to this, only it's a blue color. And I really liked it because the cats were kind of, what do you call it?
Well, they're colorful.
They're colorful and they're kind of fun. So I saw this one and I kind of really liked it. So I got this one.
Yeah.
So they're the kitties that I got.
Now, the fabric that you really like that you can't get anymore, I think that came from Timeless Treasures.
Yeah, I don't know what brand this is.
You got a salvage there on the edge, don't you?
It says no ordinary cats. It's Northcott.
Oh, it's Northcott. Well, it's Northcott. Huh.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that.
Well, it seems to be popular in a lot of places, but I really liked it. I thought it was nice. It's subtle, and I like the cats they don't look like real cats. So I got that. That was at the Old Fabric Shop. Now I'm trying to figure out where I got some of this stuff. I can't remember where I got this.
I don't know where you
got it. Oh, yeah, I got it at that, what's the big place that we went to?
Oh, K&A?
K&A Fabrics. I got
K&A
that there.
Quilting Studio.
And then I got that one, and I got...
Well, you're blinding people with the glare off your head.
Mm-hmm. I think I got this one there. Yeah. Okay. So K&A Fabric Studio, I saw this and I thought it was kind of nice. It's just a black and white pattern. I don't have a lot of black and white stuff. So I kind of liked it. So I'm making a nice either long sleeve shirt or maybe even a short sleeve shirt from it. I thought it was kind of nice.
I think I have some of that in a different colorway.
Yeah, that could be. It came in all different colors.
Yeah, because I think I bought them a long time ago.
I just liked the fact that it was black and white. And then I got this stuff that sort of looks like marijuana leaves, but
palmy.
Yeah, it's
ferny,
leafy type fabric. I kind of liked it.
Very jungly.
Yeah, and it's green with sort of a teal, so I kind of really liked it. And that was at K&A Studios.
And I'm just going to say hello here to a few people who came in. Hi, Gail. Hi, Dana. Hi, Diane. And what more do you have in your magic bag of tricks?
So, and at...
you bought a fair amount.
Yeah, well, And at that place in Tilsonburg,
Oh, cherished pieces.
Cherished Pieces, I bought these two fabrics. They're trees. One's in black and white. They're fir trees. And I bought another one in a different color, which is a color Steve doesn't like that I like.
Well, I don't dislike olive,
And
but
it's an olive color and it's fir trees as well. So I thought I kind of like that.
it depends on what you do with it, with the
Yeah.
colors. I mean, I'm not a fan of pink either, but I do like it in some things with it. So, um, people saying here, uh, Jenny, she loves the black and white. Um, Sherry loves the cat fabric. Wanda lives near Stratford, so you know all about that quilt store then if you're a quilter. Um, Dana says, I'm glad you have fun, but brought lots of fun and useful fabric on your fabric store hop. Hi Ma is digging the black and white. Laura says, love the leafy fabric, would make a great shirt. Well, that's why he bought it. Yeah. You did buy that to make a shirt, didn't you?
Yeah, probably.
And Gail says she loves the shading of the marijuana print. It's actually not marijuana.
It's probably palm trees. But
I think it's got
yeah,
palm
it's not
things,
really marijuana.
but it does sort of look like marijuana. Hi, Veronica. Trees are cool, Laura says, and Jan's loving your fabrics.
Okay.
So more.
And back at the one in Tilsonburg, what's the name? Cherished
Pieces.
I did see a batik I really liked. And it's sort of a blue-gray with purpley color that went through it. And I thought, well, that's a little different. And I thought, well, I got that one. So
It'll look great on me.
yeah, I know. And then at the store, it was only a little store that we went out in the country, and I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, that was Country Patchwork.
Country Patchwork. I bought this. I have another fabric that's sort of similar colors in it, but I liked it because it's all these different colors and stripes. And I think that would be cool as a shirt too.
It's
But
kind of directional.
I cut it this way.
Yeah, I was going to say because it's directional.
Yeah. So, yeah, I kind of liked it. So I got it. And then at, that was that. And then at, what was the first one we went to?
Quilting by Design in New Hamburg.
Yeah, Quilting by Design. This one caught my eye, and it's sort of almost like camouflage, but not quite. It's sort of mottled blues and whites, and
That's who makes that one? Let's say on the selvage.
it is made by.
It
It comes in
looks-
different colors.
Yeah.
It's a Juicy Juice.
Oh, it is a Juicy Juice.
It's Juicy Juice, probably made by Andover.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it might have been part
Yeah,
of
it's
that
Andover fabric.
City Lights.
No, it's Juicy
no, it's
Juice.
Juicy Juice.
So, Juicy Juice is a New York designer, and he usually puts out a lot of like things that look very technical. Actually, I'm missing one fabric, the one that I bought the last place. It's up in another bag, but anyway, that had the letters on it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, I'll have to show it another time.
And then you have this fun
Okay,
one.
then I found this fun fabric, and I'm not sure if I'm going to make a shirt out of it. The print's kind of big on it, and but I thought, well, I saw it, I'm going to have to get it just for the hell of it, and I'll have to figure out what to do with it later on. So,
if you're easily offended, avert your eyes.
yeah, see if I can get a good sized.
Good size, yeah.
There we go. So I thought I'd have to get it
Yeah.
because it's not too often you see this sort of thing. So it's a lumberjack thing.
I'm a lumberjack. I'm okay. I wear women's clothes and trees by day. Yeah, that was at Quilting by Design too.
Yeah.
See, that was the first place we stopped, but we definitely want to go to Quilting by Design because I knew I'd find some things there that were a little different because they're not a huge store, but they carry some very interesting lines, as you can see there. So that was all you got? Oh, gee.
Yeah, well, yeah, I actually have one other fabric. It's upstairs, but I'm not going to get it. It's actually a kind of a weird color. It's a mustard color.
Oh.
I forgot where it's in another bag and I forgot about it.
So let's see what people are saying here. Let's just back up a bit. Gail wants to know who the designer of this stripe is.
Oh,
Which stripe?
probably this one.
Is that the one that's by not Nor?
It's probably talking about this one.
Who designed it?
The Digiprint Quilt with Love, RJR Fabrics, Fleur Couture.
Fleur Couture.
It is it's printed in Japan actually. It's Quilt with Love, and because the selvage on it is really weird on it.
Well, that came from Quilting by Design, right?
No, no, that's the one that came from the little store.
Oh, from Country Patchwork.
Yeah.
Oh, because I noticed in design Quilting by Design they had a lot of fabrics that came from Japan in there. Well, not a lot. They had a few, but which are a little unusual because you don't see Japanese fabrics that often in any of the quilt stores I've been in, anyways.
Yeah.
See, what are people saying here? Derek Scott, hi Derek, says hello all. Very envious of your fabric hauls from your recent road trips. Some amazing, unusual fabrics, and really like the variety of stores. Yep, it was a lot of fun. Ma equals D. Oh, okay. Hi D. From Zoomies. From Zoomies. I'm having a block.
Mozilla from Zoomies.
Mozilla from Zoomies. Okay. I'm confused. Doesn't take much. Diane loves the batik and love them all. Love that one. Make great binding. Nice fabrics. Billy says she's getting a new long arm handy quilter with Pro Stitcher. Been in class for 2 days, but it's going to take more to learn. Yep, it will, Billy, but you know, just keep at it. That's all I do. And so far I am nowhere near being an expert on it, believe me. I'm just going down here on the comments. Let's see, it's fun one. Walter Alex. Oh, Eddie says, Walter, is that Alexander Henry fabric?
Which one?
I'm not sure. But we did go someplace where there was some Alexander Henry. No.
But you mean the which one?
I don't know. You guys realize there's a time delay, right? We're ahead of you.
It's Alexander Henry. The guy picture with the guys on it.
Oh, with the guys on it. Okay.
It's the Alexander Henry Fabrics Collection.
Geez, Eddie, what do you memorize all the lines of fabric?
That's this one, Alexander Henry.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so there it is. It's Alexander Henry. And then Marlene says, have you seen the embroidery of the gnomes for the AccuQuilt die? It's in the hoop for putting them together, directions to find it on. Yes, I have it, Marlene. It was one of the first dies I bought because you know me and gnomes. And I'll tell you something. I do not like AccuQuilt's embroidery stuff. They don't line up. Okay, they put the placement stitch down, the tack down, and they don't line up. They're out by a little bit. And I tried to actually with the gnome one. What I do is I use the technique that I use when I do in the hoop applique. They have a placement stitch, but they don't have a tack down stitch on the AccuQuilt ones, whereas regular embroidery in the hoop embroidery ones do. And that's usually when it does the tack down stitch, you take the hoop off your machine. Don't take the hoop out of the hoop or your fabric out of the hoop. Just take the machine off and you use your applique scissors and you trim around that. And then later it'll do the sashing or the satin stitch and finish it all up. But they don't have that in their embroidery programs. They want you to use the die for that. So I tried, actually, I bought a snowman one. Yeah, that one's probably never going to get used because I downloaded the embroidery for it, and you have to do each piece separate. It didn't have it like all the pieces in one, and you could add the pieces like what you do and you do regular. I don't know if I'm making this clear. If you know how to do in the hoop applique, then you know what I'm talking about. If you've never done it before, then you haven't got a clue about it. But I'm not impressed with that. But there are workarounds. So I was able to use their embroidery for the gnomes, but the dye, I mean, unless I'm going to use that and do it as a regular embroidery, not a regular embroidery, a regular applique and do my machine stitching around it on my own, then yes. So it's a good thing to know before I bought a lot more of those kind of things, because yeah. Anyways, sister, oh, Needle Gail says, I want to see what goes with your sister's furniture. Yeah, we're coming to that. As you'll find out. She said lumberjack. I knew that too. Alexander does old storybook prints, great novelty fabrics. Yeah, somebody was talking about Alexander. Is it Alexander Henry?
Yeah.
Henry Alexander.
I'm not sure.
Which was that? Either way, I think it was when I was taking the course for using the quilt path. They were talking about that because one lady, she does shirts as a business and she buys a lot of fabric from them, and I guess they're in California. But so I came home and I showed Walter the website for it. Did you look at it much?
No, I didn't get a chance. I forgot all about it.
Yeah, I think it's Alexander Henry.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. We should check it out because actually there was a lot of interesting stuff there. And the prices didn't seem really that bad, even though they were in American dollars. I'm just not sure what the shipping is like with it. Colleen says that quilt with love fabric would be great in shirts. Yeah. Well, that's what Walter usually keeps in mind for it. So anyways, yep, you've seen Walter's haul, a little smaller than mine. But yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. But what wasn't fun is London. And I'm sorry if some of you live in that area. You know better than me. But downtown London, what? There's only one way to put it. What a hole. Literally, because they are digging a hole right down the main section of it. There's all this construction going on, but it's not so much the construction. It's the homeless people. Now, every large city has homeless people, and it's a plight that our country is not exempt from. I haven't been downtown Toronto in a while, not since pre-COVID, and yeah, it's got its fair share too. But I mean, we've traveled a lot.
Actually, it was bad enough that the store we went to downtown London actually buzzed us in because they said that it's not the clientele. How did she put it?
She said it's the
community. Yeah, that's how she said it.
In there. But there was a mixed message with that too, because I saw a sign sitting on over, she had a ledge with some things on, and there was a sign, and it said bums no, bags yes, bums no. And so as we were leaving, I said, I noticed we had a ring the doorbell kind of thing on your store and you let us in. I said, is that because of where you're located? And that's when she said, well, it's the community or something. And I said, well, I noticed your sign, bags no, bums yes. I said, so I kind of thought, do you get a lot of, the homeless people coming?
Said bags, yes, bums, no.
What did I say?
The other way around.
I stand corrected as per usual. What would I ever do if I didn't have Walter to make sure that I get everything absolutely right? Am I being sarcastic?
You'd make more mistakes in your table round.
Yeah, whatever. Oh, screw off. Jeez, you're such a bugger. And I PG'd that comment. Okay, so anyways, yeah, bags yes, bums no. I guess because sometimes people bring in their little kids with them, and the little kids kind of, I guess, gravitate towards this ledge and want to sit on it. And I guess it doesn't really support them. So that's why the sign was there. But I was thinking it had to do with the locking the door, the downtown core, the homeless people, everything that was down there. But anyways, it was a good thing. We walked from the hotel to get down there, and that was, I don't know how far away
it was just over a kilometer or so.
Something like that.
And yeah, I'm glad we did that because there was so much construction in downtown London, you'd be constantly dodging the construction.
Yeah, well, because we watch cars. Apparently they don't believe in putting up signs to let cars know they can't get through there until you're right on top of the construction, and then they have to turn around and try to get out of the hole they've dug themselves into. With it. But yeah, it was kind of scary. And I don't know if I've become a little bit more paranoid because of COVID and everything, because we've traveled around the world. And yeah, you have to be careful. You have to, you know, be mindful of your possessions. You've got to, you know, try not to get into the bad parts of town, you know, and all that kind of stuff.
And I know marijuana is legal in
God.
Canada, but
It's either that
you
or
can get
skunk.
high walking around downtown
Yeah,
London.
they were blowing it on every corner. And then some. I mean, what really set off the tone for this is we're starting from our hotel to walk down to the main core of the city, and there is this guy on one side of the street, and he's just yelling at the top of his voice at this woman who's on the other side of the street.
Calling her everything.
Oh yeah, apparently
100%.
what he was saying is that she had been enjoying the company of
Unfaithful.
other gentlemen, I guess, on a more regular basis. And he wasn't happy about that, but I figure it was an upgrade for her as far as accommodation was concerned, because he was living out of a cardboard box with a lot of fabric and stuff, not nice fabric, all over it. And he was tattooed up, and he was wearing what do you call those t-shirts that are just the straps kind of a thing, and it looked like it needed a good wash.
Undershirt.
Yeah, undershirt. Looked like it needed a good wash as well. But they weren't having any trouble airing their dirty laundry out on the street.
We were okay in the hotel we were in. We weren't right downtown. We were beginning to get towards the outskirts of downtown. And so I'm glad I chose that hotel because it wasn't quite so bad.
No, the hotel was actually quite nice. Not a bad price either. I mean, given what hotels are charging these days, so it was what?
It was $147 for a it was a 2-room suite type thing with 2 large TVs and
everything. 2 queen
fridge
size beds
and microwave, and
it was
included
nice.
breakfast.
Yeah,
and the breakfast wasn't too bad.
No, actually, I thought they said it was a continental breakfast. I figured a stale muffin and a cup of coffee kind of thing. No, they actually had. They had bagels and toast, like you had one of those, industrial conveyor belt and toaster things that you could put it in there. They had, a selection of jams and peanut butter and cream cheese. They had hard-boiled eggs with the shell off, them already. Cold meat platter and cold cheese platter as well. And there was juice and there was coffee. I didn't think it was too bad at all. I wasn't expecting that. Although one lady on the first day, she was a little upset. They didn't have any butter.
Yeah, they had run out of butter.
And she wanted her butter. She had to butter that bagel. I had a feeling she needed to butter a few other things too to slip into her outfits. But and the girl was very apologetic. She says, I know, she says, we ran out and we can't we're having trouble getting it. Now the next day they had some butter. There, but okay, it's not the end of the world if there isn't any butter, but this lady seemed to feel that it was the end of the world. Oh my God, what did we come to? There is no butter. Try cream cheese, you might like it. Whatever. But I thought that was kind of impressive. And Walter said the room was nice, it was comfortable. Now they did charge us for underground parking, but I'm glad we had underground parking, because you never know what's.
But that's okay. All the hotels in the area were charging for underground parking.
Yeah, it was $32 a night,
which is a little bit more than some places. But actually, the parking lot was good. So, and I didn't have any complaints. The hotel staff were really nice in there, and it was called the Park Hotel.
Yeah, and it was attached to Jack Astor's. In fact, the first night we ate at the Jack Astor's, they had
a chain food place.
And they had a nice patio deck kind of thing up a couple of stories on the top. The only thing is we ordered nachos. We had beer and nachos. I'd never tasted so much salt in nachos before in my life. We should, after we had tried a couple of them, we should have sent them back, because it was like someone had taken a whole, the cap had come off the salt shaker and it in with it. But no, we just kept on eating. So we've had our sodium intake now for the next 2 months from all of that. The next night we went to a place called Toboggan.
Which is a brew house type place. And we had a Caesar salad and a
pizza. They were famous
one
for
of their
pizzas.
thin crust pizzas.
The pizza was good.
It was good, yeah.
Yeah, their Caesar salad was a little watery in the dressing, but and I got I don't know if they called it a flight. It was a sampler of their beers, where you get like a quarter of a pint and you get 4 of them, and it came in the cutest, and I had pictures on so Chatty. It looked like a little toboggan. Yeah, I like that. I thought geez, I wonder if you can buy this there, because they have a store in the place too, like where you could buy some of their beer and that. But I looked quickly. We didn't go right in. I mean, do I really need one? No, but I thought it was cute. It was fun. And like I sit around all the time drinking 4 different kinds of beer. Not so, but the food was good, and it was a nice patio and everything. So, except the guy who seated us. Well, did you see his ears? And I said no. But when he came back around again, young lad, like university student. Well, you know how some people get those big spacers they put in their earlobes, those big button things or whatever they are. This guy must have had those, but he didn't have them in. Okay, all I could think was National Geographic Circuit 1974 when they're showing a native tribe and they're wearing all those rings in their neck and they've got like earlobes down to here because they got stuff in them. That's what his earlobes look
I always wondered what people did after they took those.
Well, put it this way, if he'd been in a stiff breeze, it would have whistled. So, I mean, yeah. And then you couldn't take your eyes off them as he's coming by. Well, floppy ears.
Imagine you'd have to have them sewn shut or whatever.
I guess. I mean, why would you want to do that anyways? I don't get these young people today. Don says plugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I don't think one way or the other.
Obviously, people don't really think what happened to their ears after
I guess
period
not. Like, it was kind of funny. But anyways, we had a good dinner there and everything. I would just recommend if you're going to London and you're going quilt shopping, stay outside of London. Go to Stratford, go wherever, Tilsonburg, or I'm not sure how great how many hotels you can find there. Although Stratford, there should be lots of hotels outside of Stratford. It's just if you go in summer.
Actually, when I looked before in Stratford, it was kind of hard to find places unless you stayed in Cambridge, right?
Well, that's true. They have a lot of bed and breakfast there, but I mean, it's very popular for the Shakespearean Festival, especially in the summer. Everybody's going to the theater, so it's not so easy to find maybe a place to stay there. But there's probably other places just outside of the city, downtown part of London, that you can stay in. We always like to get a hotel that's close to the downtown core of where we're staying because you always figure you're going to be closer to restaurants and that. Now, there were quite a few restaurants around this hotel.
Yeah.
So,
now, mind you, the further you walked towards the downtown core, the worse the clientele got. So.
Yeah. And they were shooting a movie down there at the same time too. So that we don't know whether they were putting it back up or taking it down or what they were doing, but there was this big sign, girls, girls, girls on it, kind of a thing. And they were working on it. So I don't know if that was part of the movie set or what they were doing. Yeah,
because they had big lights there and camera type equipment and stuff like that. So
yeah, so
which is common in Ontario to walk into the middle of a movie set, because if you get our city, it's constantly being filmed. There's a what do you call it, a mansion close by here that's always being filmed, and I don't know how many movies we've seen with that we right away recognize it because we live here. So
yeah, but anyway, so that just added to the congestion, like to get around in downtown, because they had a whole city block right central downtown all blocked off, and then you had construction at either end of that on top of it all. So yeah, it wasn't a great experience in the downtown core, but that's okay. That's where Stash is, and that was on the video as well, where we picked up a few things. That's where I got some of the indigenous fabric, and then I got more of it at Len's Mills. Let's talk about Len's Mills for a second. Everybody talks about Len's Mills. You hear it all the time. They're all over the place. There's one in Toronto, there's one in Cambridge, there's one in London, there's one in Woodstock, there's one in Brampton, I think, or Brantford, one or the other. They're all over the place. And the only experience we've ever had with the Len's Mills was the one in Toronto, and it was, and I've said this before, you've heard me talk about it, it was filthy. It was like you came out of there and you just want to hit a shower as quick as you possibly could. And the whole shopping experience there was not nice. So we went to the one in Cambridge. Now, we had tried to go to that one back before COVID when we were down there, and we couldn't find it.
Well, it's because my GPS would show one spot, and the spot didn't have anything in it, and we sort of looked around there but could never seem to find it. So we looked a little harder this time and we found it.
And we found it. And actually, this was a better experience. The store was neat. It was clean. Fairly clean. Well, it's a warehouse.
Yeah.
The fabric was like row after row after row. They had everything, and their prices weren't bad, except. So we're looking for the price. So Walter pulls a bolt off the shelf, and on the bolt's written the price. Two prices, one for by the yard, one for by the meter, and. Well, you figured out the math.
Yeah, I figured out the math. It would say something like $19 and something for no, it would say something like
17 something or for
15 like 50, it'll say $15.99 for a yard, and then it would say $17.50 for
17.97 or something like that.
Yeah, $17.50 something for the meter. I'm just don't catch me as quote me exactly, right? So I thought, well, that seems awfully high because it's 3 inches longer for a meter as opposed to a yard, right? So I did the math, I calculated it out, and the equivalent was about 30 cents difference between what they quoted as a meter of fabric and what I figured out if you had bought it by the yard.
So what you mean is you're paying 30 cents more for 3 extra inches.
No. You're paying about $2.50 more for 3 extra inches, but instead of $2.50, they should have been charging $2.20 more.
Okay, fine.
Right. So I figured it out that it was like, if it was $15.99, it should have been $17.20 for a meter, right? And
order
they were
by the
charging
yard.
$17.50.
Have them cut it by the yard. Okay.
If you're really uptight about it, if you want it by the meter, just accept that they're charging you 30 cents more for it.
Yeah. I mean, overall, the prices at Len's Mill aren't anything to write home about. Like nothing to get that
but
excited.
It's not like they're really expensive.
No, they're in the middle of the road.
And you did get some wide back fabric that was actually a pretty good price.
Yeah, actually, that was a good price because Walter actually spotted it. 108-inch wide back fabric, Christmas fabric, which is not easy to find in wide back, was $1979 a meter.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good because $20 a meter, let's say, rounded up. I always buy 3 meters of wide back for backing a quilt, and so that's $60. Well, wide back fabric ranges. Well, Shirley sells it, and hers is a really good price, $24 a meter.
Yeah, but we've seen it $28 to $30
to $30, I mean $32 a meter.
So then you're paying $90 for something that they're charging about $60 for.
So that was a good buy there. And then I saw some indigenous fabric, which I had bought some at that stash in downtown London. I just happened to see it sitting out on her table. Now, I had been to another quilt store where I bought, I think it was Yay Old Fabric Shop in Stratford, where I bought some fat quarters of it.
Yeah.
And right now, it's very, very popular. I think there is a thing happening where people are making quilts using this particular line of fabric to donate to survivors of the residential schools situation. So that's why I think it's become hard for it to be kept on the shelf. Because the lady at Stash said, I said, is that all you have of that? And she says, that's all I have left. She says, I got it in July. She says, and it's just been going off the shelf. So I bought what she had left, which was not very much. And then I had these fat quarters. And then when we hit Len's Mills, they had 3 bolts of the stuff. So I got 2 meters of each of those as well. Don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but they're pretty with it. So yeah, I got some stuff. I wasn't intending to buy anything at Len's Mills. I just wanted to see how.
But actually, they did have a really good wide range of selections.
They did.
So if you didn't have a quilt store nearby, or if you had or you happen to live near a Len's Mill store or something like that, it actually isn't a bad place to go and get whatever you wanted. So
I would go back to that one.
They did have some apparel fabric, but that part of it I found was a little disheveled.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't really well indicated as to what kind of fabric it was. You had to kind of read the end of the bolt type of thing. So you'd have to kind of, if you wanted some apparel fabric, you might have to rum it around a bit for it type of thing. But they had other things like a lot of flannel, and they had a lot of like if you wanted blanket by the yard or something like that. If you wanted like a fleecy type material, they had lots of that there too. So for certain things, I think it might be worthwhile to go there to get stuff. So
all I know is,
and it's not like super expensive like Fabricland is.
All I know is if you go with somebody like Walter, you need to put him in a harness. I turned my back for a minute to look. He's gone. Couldn't find him. I'm up and down aisles. Where'd he go? What's he doing?
I was in the upholstery section.
Yeah. Okay. That's not where I expected you to be. Oh, yeah. You were probably looking for fabric for my sister's table runner. Well, speaking of the table runner, so while we were shopping for fabric, we were looking for greens that would go with for what she wanted with her table runner. And we found some things that we thought would work, and Walter found one fabric that was very close to kind of the patterning that's in the furniture she's trying to match us up with, and had the colors as well. Well, it's over, where is it? It's not there, right on. Just let me grab.
Yeah, his fabric is almost pretty good for.
Yeah. So these are the fabrics, plus there's a cream that goes with this as well in a box. So these are the ones she's finding. We took them over to her place on yesterday, on Saturday, and where we could see the chair where it's right there, and she laid out the fabrics. And so this is what she has picked for the table runner. This is the one Walter found, which kind of is reminiscent. Yeah, it has a tree on it, but of course I'm cutting it up.
Yeah.
So, you'll never notice there's a tree on it. And then this is the other green. And this is the blue. I had about 4 different blues for her to pick from.
And that blue I happened to bought at Quilter Quilting by accident one time, and I hadn't used it. Yeah.
So anyways, we've got our color settled, and we know the pattern. Well, I decided yesterday that I would make a prototype of it. Just to see, because the pattern sounded fairly easy, but I wanted to make sure. So I did this one yesterday out of Fassett strips. It's a jelly roll friendly kind of thing, and I was just throwing random strips together. Actually, I think it's very colorful and very pretty. This is just the top, right? It's not been layered or anything yet. So it went together yesterday. I did that in a couple of hours, no problem with it. So today I was working. What did I flip?
I don't.
Well, it's not part of this. So, anyways. Oh, it's probably with the clip. That was it. All right. So, this is not done yet. And I'll explain why. I was done. Right. But this is what it's going to sort of look like. Now, it's got to have more of these down the bottom, right? Because it's a little longer than the one I tried out, because she wants it 72 inches for her table. And then, of course, it has to have the border and everything with it. But I got this part of it all done, or I thought I had it done. So I take it upstairs just before we went on air, and I said to Walter, wow, that went together fast here. I've got this done. I just have to add the borders and then do all the, the other stuff, the quilting and whatnot. Walter says, looks at it and goes, well, let me turn it this way. And you'll see what he saw. He goes, something weird about it. Why is that thing there? Now, what thing? It is the center square. That's where you start off on this pattern and build it out. And in my mind, I should have known that. When I did the prototype, there's so many strips one side, then so many on the other side, right? And I'm thinking, well, it's all the same strips and back and forth. I don't need to flip it around. I'll just keep going. Forgetting that, no, you're going to have this square that should be in the middle. So I have taken off the ones that were on this end. And here's the piece that I took off. Okay, easy enough to take off, and then just tack it to the side up here. Yeah, if I was a really confident sewer when it comes to Y seams, I could do that, because that's a Y seam. And I have decided, no,
Well, if that's the center, why'd you take that off?
It's not the center.
Oh, okay.
Look, it is this end up here. I took it off the one end to equal it out, right?
Okay.
This will
Oh,
equal
yeah,
it. This
okay,
is
yeah,
added
right,
here.
yeah.
But it'll be a Y seam.
Okay.
And
all
I'm not doing Y seams.
Okay.
So I have lots of the fabric, and it doesn't take much. I've already got the strips cut out that I need, so I can do this pretty fast with it. But I could have, like
it's funny, he showed me this thing, and I said to him, well, what's this here supposed to be? And he got all pissed off at me because I saw a mistake.
I thought I was doing so well. It's going, wow, this thing is going fast. Okay. With it. So that's great, because my idea was, yeah, I'll have the top of it done like tomorrow, no problem, with the border on it. And I can throw it on Lucy and I can get it all in. By the end of the week, I'll have this table runner ready for her. And what I still will, probably, but just annoyed me that I missed that out of it. So, but anyways, like I said, it's not that hard to do that end over. And I know if I attempt Y seams with it, that I'm not going to be happy with the end result, because I'm going to end up with a lump. I just know that. And I figured, no. That's going to be more frustration than I need. I will just do that. I mean, it takes, literally, when you get going with that, you're just sewing strips. You
sew too fast, eh?
Yeah, I guess. No, I get this idea in my head and think, well, there's no problem. That'll work. I'm mathematically challenged when it comes to, I'm more geometrically challenged, actually, if the truth be told, with it. But anyways, so yeah, she seems to be, I hope she'll be happy with this, because it's been a bit of a, well, let's just say a little trying to find the right fabrics for it all for her. So,
Yeah, I know. Part of the problem is that she's taking the fabric, laying it on top of the chair, and she's hemming and hawing that they're not exactly matches, right? Well, the table's like 10, 15 feet away from the chair.
Like, nobody would really notice, but she wants matchy. So anyways, it'll be fine.
And then she pulls out her dining room chairs, and she looks at them, and her dining room chairs don't match her chair.
No, they're a brownie, creamy, beigey kind of pattern in them.
I should have said to her, well, you're gonna have to recover your chairs now too.
God, you might get the job for it. Actually, that one pattern I'm using in that would look really nice.
What, this stuff?
Yeah, that would look really nice, recovering her chairs with that, with the whole bit. And then it would definitely match your table runner. Matchy. But no, not going to even suggest it to her, because, that doesn't work that way. Can you just throw those over on my table gently? So yeah. So I will get it done eventually. I will show everybody what it looks like when it's finished. What's people saying here? Pamela says, I bet you can do the Y seam. I have done Y seams before. I don't enjoy them. Okay. But I'm just thinking, the aggravation for something like this, that the fabric's already cut. I've got lots of it. I can fly through that to get that done.
Well, there was another fabric that was a lighter blue, and it had a little tiny pattern in it, a little tiny dot, right? And she didn't like that because it had a dot in it.
I kept saying to her, picture this cut up into small pieces. You're not going to see what you're seeing right now in this big piece of fabric. In smaller amounts, it's not as noticeable, the pattern. So whatever. I volunteered to do this, and it will be done. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Derek says, I assume your sister is no longer allowed to change her decor after this. She better have this decor.
I said she should have gotten chairs with big red spots on it. That way, when she spills wine on it,
she wouldn't know. Yeah. Laura says there are nice colors in the table, and it's going to look great when done. Yeah. It's nice colors. I kind of like her new furniture. I like the
nice stuff,
the design and everything in it. But it's definitely, Actually, didn't you look for fabric in that line?
Yeah, I did. I did find it,
because sometimes companies
But no, they
you know,
didn't have fabric. They just had upholstery fabric.
well, I'm not
So,
making a tail runner out of upholstery fabric.
and it was expensive. It was like $65 American for a yard of it. So
Whoa. Actually,
it was 54 inches wide, but
I was worried a little bit whether when I was looking at the pattern at first over at her place about the backing for it, because I said to her, "Oh, there's another like, do you care if it's real matchy the backing to the front?" She
get some more
hesitated.
of that fabric that has the pattern on it, and then
Yeah, well, I thought of that, but actually, I may have enough out of the fabrics that I have left over with no problem for the backing. 'Cause
oh yeah,
it's not really using
yeah,
that much fabric
yeah, okay.
For it. So even after I increased the size, so
Ironically, Navy never again voluntary yourself.
yeah. Yes, Laura, my sister is particular about things. She's like my mother. My mother always was too.
Oh,
Um,
mini me.
yeah. Andy says, "I'm sorry I've missed most of the session. Will I see Walter's fabric in the replay?" Oh yeah, you will. When the replay comes up, it'll be there. Yep. So not a problem, Andy. Uh, yeah, don't know about the patient part. I just know when to pick my battles. Okay, it's not worth fighting over. Okay, so yeah, I just hope she likes it. One thing I'm really happy about though is she gave me to bring home as a model her old table runner that was on it. And it has like this table runner, she wanted to have points because her table has rounded edges on it. Okay, no problem with points. But her other one had tassels on it as well. And I thought, do you really want tassels on this? She kind of hesitated, but we finally got it. No, she doesn't want tassels. I said, because I said to her, well, I can take the tassels off the old one and put them on this one. But I mean, Nana table runner, okay, with the tassels. I mean, she wanted something modern. Like her furniture's modern looking and that. And I said to her, that's why I was looking for
The
design.
dining room suite's not modern.
No, it's not. But, well, it's not. It's classic in design, whatever. So, anyways, I'm glad there's no tassels because I didn't want tassels on it. But, anyways, so that's what I'm working on there. What else? Oh yeah, I just was going to say something about homelessness in this country. I don't know if it's my imagination, but it seems like maybe because we didn't go out much in the last few years and that, but the homelessness situation has seemed to have increased in this country. It's you can see it on TV all the time and
Well,
whatnot.
that's because the governments that are in power these days don't seem to care about them.
Well, yeah, we do have a welfare system that's supposed to
Yeah,
be.
but the way they've set up the welfare system is you have to have a permanent address in order to collect welfare.
What, you can't have one that says I live on the corner of
No,
this street in a box?
I don't think so.
So I mean,
Apparently, some homeless shelters are allowing people to use their address as a reference for trying to get a job.
oh yeah.
Because a lot of jobs won't give you a job unless you've got a residence.
Well, I know the homeless shelters, a lot of them do not want to go in there because they fear for their life. People steal stuff from them, like other people in the homeless shelter, pick fights, beat them up. A lot of them are people who have a drug addiction or something like that too. So not a good situation for these people, but there's got to be more that our government can do for them. Like affordable housing. They always talk about affordable housing, although I'm not sure what affordable housing is in a big city.
I don't. Well, in Toronto,
There's no such thing
I
as
don't think there
affordable
is.
housing.
Sherry Shamil said, "Love to sample. What's the name of the pattern?"
Oh, the pattern is one that came from Jordan Fabric. It's designed by Donna Jordan. I think it's called French Braid. Where's my pattern? Oh no, it's called the Friendship Braid Table Runner, and it's a free download from Jordan Fabrics. And she has a tutorial about making this as well. Something in the back of my mind says that I've made one of these before, but maybe not. I don't know. But very easy, very jelly roll friendly because it's basically strips for it all, 2.5 inch strips. So not a lot of cutting to do. So yeah, and as I said, unless you make a mistake like I did, it goes together very, very fast as well. Let's see. Laura says everything does come back sooner or later. Oh, you'd like task that. Yeah, true. If you hang on to anything. But back to this homeless situation. It's they need help. These people need help. And I think for a lot of them too, there's a certain amount of problem mentally as well, emotional and mental problems too, which may have been why they're on the street in the first place. Who knows? But our government needs to do a lot more about it because they're scaring people away from the downtown cores of places. Um, they need help. They just need help. And I think it's a sad reflection on our country.
And it's worse nowadays because a lot of people, well, I mean, for if they need money, people don't carry cash with them. So,
Yeah. Marilyn says 135-degree angle for the binding. I had to look that one up as how to bind it. Oh, that I have no problem with. I've done points before. Actually, it's very, very easy with it. The fabric will actually go the way you want it to go. It you just follow the lines. Pretend that it's not on an angle. Pretend that it's at right. When you come to the point, just turn your whole thing so it looks like it's a right angle. And just do what you normally do. And it works out. So, yeah. No, I'm not Sherry. I have done them. I can do them. I don't want to do it. Not on that one. I just don't. So yeah, not going to do it. So I don't care what you say. Get thee behind me, Satan. So is Angel on here today? Didn't see her. Angel, I think it was Angel. Where I was talking about our garden. Actually, we're starting to get peppers coming out of our ears, which is a first because last year we had like one.
well, that's because I didn't plant pepper plants last year. All I planted were those Scotch bonnets or something.
I thought we tried green peppers last
I
year.
didn't have green peppers last year.
Oh, well, that's why we didn't have any.
No.
Yes. I thought we had you. Oh well, whatever. So we have some nice red peppers right now. We got some more green peppers coming, and we got some yellow ones.
Mm.
So yeah. Then so I was mentioning on something. I think it was Idiot Quilter, and I said so now we have all these peppers, and we have basil and stuff. What
And
to
tomatoes.
do? And tomatoes. Well, Angel, and I'm not sure if it's our Angel or it was another Angel, but anyways, said, well, make a something called a panzella. I had never heard of a panzella, but it's a salad. You don't put any lettuce in it, but it's really, really good. You use basil, fresh basil, tomatoes, peppers that you cut very thin, like slither them up, a red onion, and then there's and capers. Walter's not fond of capers. I love capers. And you toss it in a vinaigrette that you make with oil, like olive oil, Dijon mustard. They call for champagne vinegar. Don't know where you get that, but I just used white wine vinegar, and that seemed to work okay. Lemon juice, pepper and salt. I think that's all that was in it. Whisk that up. Oh yeah, the other thing you make for this salad too is you get a crusty loaf of French bread, cut it into 1-inch cubes, like croutons sort of thing, and you fry them up, toss them in olive oil and fry them up until they're like sort of crispy, golden, like not to the point of toast, but you know, a little crispy. And you put that in the salad too. Toss it all together with the vinaigrette, and they recommend that you let it sit for half an hour so it marinates a little bit. And it was really good. Walter liked it. So high praise for that one. So I would definitely make that. And I like the salad dressing actually that was with it too. So I was going to say, well, Angel, thank you for that recipe. That was great. I think I keep saying we're going to need to make some pesto, but we have to get pine nuts for it because we have like basil coming out of the yin yang. So if anybody else has got any good ideas for basil, I did make some kind of a chicken dish that had a lot of basil in it. Did we like that?
It was okay.
Okay, don't make that again then. That's what Walter has it. If it's okay or fine, okay, don't ever make it again. If it's
I
fine,
can't remember if it was
maybe.
outstanding or not.
I don't remember either, so it couldn't have been all that great. Couldn't have been horrible, but whatever. Um, Derek said, yes, addiction. Okay, Laura says, yes, much of it is addiction or untreated mental health issues. It's a huge problem in most cities now. And Gail says, where I live in Northeast Georgia, USA, affordable homes aren't being built. Housing are too big and too expensive for even upper middle class to afford. No trailer parks anymore. Well, it's the same here too in the Toronto area.
They're building a lot of
Condos.
condos, and then they're building a lot of what they call um, upper class rental units. Otherwise known as expensive rental
Yeah,
units.
expensive rent units. Yeah, so the average person can't afford them. Derek says, during the pandemic, lots of countries and cities managed to find places to house lots of their homeless and then cut them loose when lockdown ended. An opportunity lost for positive change. That's true, Derek. Toronto did that. They opened up more areas where homeless people could go during COVID, and then they just shut them down again. So yeah, Laura says, same here in Ontario. Developers get more money to build high-end condos. Yeah. Kathy says, homeless population has exploded near me as well. I have lived here for about 70 years. There were no homeless people around to see until the last 5 years or so. Yeah, I don't know why. Well, yeah, I don't know why. Why it has this increase. I mean, well, there's lots of theories out there, but we don't need the theories. We need governments to step up and use our tax dollars to help these people out one way or another. So, yeah, but they don't want to do it. In Ontario, our premier, he just wants to privatize our healthcare system now, and you know, abuse the hospital situation and the education system. He is such a jerk. There's just no two ways about it. He's a shithead. But oh well. And they're in politics. Are there any ones that aren't shitheads with that? But anyways, try a Panzella. It's really good. So what's coming up? Oh, one thing. So on that video, if you saw it for So Chatty, I was trying out my new microphone system, a wireless microphone system. That works with my iPhone. And it worked really well when I plugged it in properly. I mean, you'll notice that some of those car scenes in there at the beginning of it, that sound isn't as good as later on because I didn't have it turned on, I guess. But you wear this little thing, and there's two of them. So I should have wired Walter up too when he's talking on it. But I got it from Amazon. It was not expensive, $60. And I was a little leery as to how well it would work. But you see, I'm going to do that interview. I was supposed to do yesterday an interview at Kawartha Quilting with Zach, the owner of it, and talk to him and do a store tour and the whole bit. Well, Zach was at a wedding last weekend, I guess, and he found out after the wedding that there were some people there that contracted COVID and that. So he was isolating himself. So he said, so can we put it off, because he didn't want to be going into the store, just in case. And I said, sure. So we're doing it on the 10th of September now, 2 weeks time. And anyways, I bought these microphones for that purpose, because I figured if Zach could wear one, I wear one, Walter will be cameraman, and then that's the only weak link in the whole thing. And hopefully so everybody can hear properly, and I don't have to do a lot of voice enhancement on my computer after the fact. So yeah, that's coming up. And I'm doing a couple of interviews. I got a couple of interviews lined up in the next week or two as well. So those will be coming up. And well, next weekend's Labor Day weekend. So we don't have any plans for Labor Day weekend, but not that we ever do. And what else was I going to tell you about? Oh yeah, classes. Okay. Signed up for a couple of classes. I'll show you what these classes are with Ultimate Sewing. They had their open house on the weekend. And just go over here. Okay, before I show that. And that they used to have that before COVID. They would have this in the summer, and you went in and you stood in line and you fought to get in on a class, which I hated doing. We would go right at the crack of dawn before they were opened up. We were usually first in line, and we had it all organized so we could get in there because, quite frankly, the method they were using then was just hell. It just was not organized well. Well, the owner of Ultimate Sewing decided she would do an open house this year too, but this time she put the classes online. Now, she had a time limit. They weren't going to be online until 6 o'clock Saturday night. Saturday night? No, Friday night. Friday night. The open house was Saturday. So I'm waiting for it because there's one particular class that I wanted to make sure I get into, and she's only going to have 6 people in a class because really her classroom is just too tiny for any more than that. Now, I did have an in with the person who's the instructor because at that point in time, I thought that we were going to Kawartha Quilting to do the interview. So I wouldn't get to the open house. And at that point as well, I didn't know that she was going to also do it online as well. So I asked the instructor of the course if she could sort of, if it wasn't going to cause problems, if she could book me into the class. And I said, I'd go in and pay for it at the store next week in the whole bit. She said, sure, no problem with that. But I felt bad about that. I don't want to,
jump the line.
Well, I don't want to jump the line. Yeah. I mean, I'm special and everything like that, and probably no one would mind because they know how special I am. Yeah, right. I don't think so. I think there would be mutiny. So anyways, then when I could get on, so I went online immediately when they came up. I got booked in, signed in, bang, got it, wrote to the instructor and said, don't worry, I'm already booked into your class. Away you go. It's a one block wonder, but I'm doing, I'll show you what it might look like here. Okay, so this is the one block wonder with panels. You basically have 7 panels and you cut them in such a way that you can rearrange the pieces and you'll get an interesting design. This is not the one I'm doing. I've ordered my panels already, and they're sort of a fantasy under the sea mermaidy kind of looking thing with lots of nice bright blues and teals and things like that with them. But I've seen this method done, and somebody sent me a web link, and I haven't checked it out yet, where you can use a computer thing online that helps you to, I guess, arrange it or whatever, the way you cut them, the pieces. But you see, if you look at that picture closely, in the center, that's the panel. But all the other pieces around that panel come from identical panels, from 6 of them. And the way you cut them, you sort of cut them in hexagon kind of shapes or something, and you fit them all together and you can rearrange them, and that's how you get this effect. It looks a lot better on the one Donna should have used the one she was working on because she had pictures of it. I don't know why she put this picture up.
Probably because she isn't done.
Well, maybe that could be because hers looks spectacular. It looks much better. This doesn't really. If this is all I'd ever seen of this,
this doesn't
I wouldn't have done it.
This doesn't really do it justice.
No. So, anyways, I've got my panels on order, and the other class, the one, this one is a Zoom class, which I prefer, but it's a kit, and I bought the kit. So you can see it's a block of the month class, and it was $425 for it, plus tax on top of it. But you got all the fabrics, and there's a lot of fabrics in there. So about 16 different batiks, but it's applique as well. All those little corner pieces and the flowers in the center, that's all applique. And when I heard that before I signed up for it, I thought, I don't think I want to do that. And I thought, no, I got to get outside of my comfort zone and do some applique. I've done some applique before, but this will be definitely a way to really, get used to doing applique. And I like the colors in it. It's sort of rainbowy, and the way it works out. It looks like a lot of pieces, little pieces.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of little squares.
A lot of little pieces in that. But anyways, I bought the kit, got it. So I think that class starts Monday. This class starts later in the month on a Thursday. The other class is an in-person class, and she's running it though when the store is closed. The store isn't open on Mondays, and so that's when she's going to have the class from 10 to 4, and it'll be 3 weeks in a row on Mondays, and that'll make life a little easier. That's another reason why I thought I would take it, because
It's better when the store is closed.
Yeah, because there's nobody crawling over top of you. Because the classroom, everything that's she has, the classroom shares its space with fabric, and people are coming in and looking at the fabric, and there's about this much room between the back of your chair and the shelf with the fabric on it. So they're coming in, excuse me, pardon me, oh sorry, and so and I mean no, and then they start looking over your shoulder. Oh, what are you making?
Go away.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. And then they have to have a long conversation with you. Oh, I remember that, Pat. I saw that. Now I thought of taking it, but I just didn't see. And I don't have and I don't need your life story. I'm trying to work here. Screw up. But, but do I say that? In my mind, I say that. So let me get out of here so we can go back to what people are saying. So, Andy says, I've been watching videos about living in a converted school bus. Think it could be a lot of fun. Yeah, there's all these series on YouTube about tiny houses that are all basically trailers, but people really deck them out. Except you want to be able to get your long arm in there. Kathy says you can freeze those extra peppers. They're only good for cooking, but yeah. Actually,
we may end up doing that.
We may end up doing that because I don't want to waste them. Question from Sherry. Stephen, could you do a tutorial on the binding? Points look intimidating. Would love to see that. Oh, okay. Well, Sherry, when I come to bind that table runner, maybe I will videotape it because I have a binding video up on my site already, but it's not on points. It's the regular binding. So yeah, okay. I'll try to remember to do that, Sherry. Watch, I'll screw up on it then. Kathy says, yes, help our own people. Many have served in the armed forces. Yeah. And that's probably part of their mental issues too, right? Post-traumatic syndrome, or what do they call it? What is that? PSD? Whatever it is.
PTSD.
PTSD. Don says, I've always wanted to do the one block wonder. And beautifully, there should be fun class. What just happened there? What's going on? What did I click on that? Okay, well, I think we're still there. It's just that we can't see it. Okay, that was weird. Let me see. Okay, I don't know what happened here. Why did that disappear? Well, we're still operating here. Everybody can see us. Okay, well, we just can't see them for some reason. Well, we can on this, so we'll use that. Oh, it came back. No, what's that? That's Final Cut Pro. What's that doing on here?
Okay, maybe you have a...
Somebody take over my computer? They couldn't have. I must have done something weird. Anyways, okay, so I'm not going to worry about that because we've got the iPad over here, and so we can see what everybody's saying. So, what are people saying? Andy says, that reminds me of the quilt Jeannie made me that is made up of 9,000 half square triangles. There's patience. Yes, Laura, lots of little pieces. And Gail says, I don't play well with others. I couldn't be that nice. Yes, Colleen, I do want to say that. Yep. And Jeannie says, Andy, you know it's only 1,400 triangles. Only. It was out a second. Me says. says. Derek says, I had that the other week. Went to a class the first time and people were hovering right at my shoulder, repeatedly asking what I was making. Sorely tempted to tell them it was a body bag for them. That would be good. Yeah, I could see that, saying that to them too. But anyways, yeah, I guess. I think that sometimes it's because I'm a man and it's a class with all women. And these women come over, I think they're looking over to see, do you really know what you're doing? Yes, I know this isn't a blender. It's a sewing machine. I figured that one out. Thank you for asking. Goodbye, drop dead. Kind of deal. Okay, so just an advance notice. Craft and Chat. We're moving into September next week. So the first Wednesday of September is September the 7th. Wednesday right after Labor Day weekend. So time for Craft and Chat. I've already got the link, the Zoom link for that in the show notes for today below, and it'll be in the show notes for everything I put up next week. And I'll be sending out an email to those of you that are on my mailing list for it as well towards the end of this week coming too. So hope you can join us if you're free. And yeah, it'll be fun. And for those of you who've never heard of Craft and Chat before, if you're new here, it's a thing I run every month. Starts at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the afternoon on Wednesdays. And we just get together for about 3 hours and work on whatever we want to work on and talk about this, talk about that, ask questions of each other, get help with things, whatever. No drama, just fun. So you can do it in your jammies or whatever else. But do remember, it's a Zoom, so there will be video. So you do want to cover up a little bit. Yeah, we made that mistake once. Not. Ron says, maybe you're a chick magnet. Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, I think that's it for us today. So I hope everybody has a good week. If you haven't seen the So Chatty video with the fabric and you want to drool, check her out. And we'll see you all next week. So have a good week.